I am Oloni, I'm a sex and relationship blogger, and today I'll be holding an event called Laid Bare.
Laid bare. Butt naked on the floor was amazing, actually.
So we got invited by Oloni to be guest panelists on her Laid Bare event.
Which is like a sex and body positivity discussion debate thing. It was amazing.
It's for the sex positive and opinionated woman, so basically just an event where women gather around to talk about everything to do with relationships, dating and sexuality, and just feeling comfortable about doing it.
It was sold out, so it was very scary.
There was like a room full of people, and we were asked quite a few amazing questions, but Oloni is a girl who has won the Sex Blogger Award for Cosmopolitan. She does a lot of amazing stuff on her blog, does a lot of great articles, really empowering stuff, and she does amazing stuff for the female black community when it comes to sex.
I am Nigerian, I was born here, both my parents are Nigerian, so I'm British. You can imagine, you know, a 26-year-old, you know, Nigerian talking about sexuality isn't, you know, on top of the list, but I enjoy it, and it makes me happy, especially when I'm educating other women about it as well, and just letting them know that even if you look like me, you can still be comfortable in your skin and talk about sexuality.
She also gets loads of questions in her website when she answers all their questions, and it can be to do with relationships, sex, and I think just other issues as well that are personal.
She did this hilarious thing on Twitter where it was like, come to us with your host story, and apparently it got a lot of attention, a lot of hatred, a lot of backlash, but some of them sounded hilarious.
When we were on the panel, she was asking us and the audience questions that we had to answer.
It is illegal to own more than 6 dildos in Texas. True or false? You guys don't wait. I'm gonna give it to Blowtorch. So in fact, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us about the last time you got laid.
There's a lot of like back and forth, a lot of really interesting opinions and stories that were shared. It was an amazing crowd, actually.
Yeah, everyone got really, really into it, and there was a bit of a debate when it got to you opening up about being in an open relationship.
Yeah, that got a bit tricky because it's understandable. Not everybody gets it, understands, and it did get heated. There was a lot of people like, no, that's not acceptable.
What made you get that? Because I can't imagine me and my man sitting down and him going, yeah, like, I want to fuck someone else, and I'm going, yeah, babes. Do you know what I mean? Like, how did that conversation start? What made you say, yeah, you could do that?
He never asked, actually. Well, I've always been very, very open and honest with him, and I've been toying with the idea of him being with other people, me being with other people, the idea of an open relationship in the future. Like, the idea of marriage for me scares me, like being with one person for the rest of my life. I know I'm going to get bored. It's human nature. You get bored of one dick. You know, try to get bored of one girl, and you need to give each other that freedom. I know I've done it young, and it might not ever work. We're not open all the time. We go through phases where I only ever want to be with him and he only ever wants to be with me. And sometimes I'm like, no, I can see you with another person, that'd be really hard.
I completely think that they work because of being such good friends with Brie, and her and her boyfriend are so in love. Like,
So she can vouch. She can vouch.
Yeah. They're just like they're just the cutest couple ever. They're just so cute. They're just so happy. But for me, I wouldn't be able to be in a relationship like that. I have jealousy.
It's like pretty much everyone's like, no, absolutely.
It was really eye-opening as well because we get caught up in our little sexually open bubble, and then you meet people that can't be like that or have never thought that it's okay to be like that, and it's just really eye-opening.
Yeah, but I think like the event was super good because it enabled all these people to suddenly be so open about sex, and everyone started off like a little bit shy, like they didn't really want to be involved, but by the end of the night, like we couldn't keep people quiet.
It was getting so rowdy. People in the crowd were having like debates with each other, like no. It was good.
On the panel, they asked us loads of interesting questions, such as, what is your number? And like sort of the surrounding, like, why is it bad to have a high number?
Yeah, and we were honest about our numbers, and we had a lot of like amazing opinions. We had such great honesty from the audience as well as the panelists as well.
Yeah.
And some of us agreed with each other and some of us didn't agree with each other.
Yeah, but it's okay, like, to all have different opinions on these things. Like, everyone's so individual.
What did you say?
Well, I opened up about the story where I was in university. Me and my flatmate had a bit of a competition with how many people we could sleep with, and we'd always like one up each other, which, you know, resulted in sleeping with a lot of people.
I don't know my number. I was like, you don't need a number, numbers are nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't ever feel like a number is a bad thing. Even the fucks that you regret are still learning curves, they're still important for you to understand and to grow as a person.
I was always proud of my number.
Yeah, we got that many. Another good topic that we discussed was what is the definition of a hoe, which I really enjoyed. That got everyone like up and lively.
Yeah, because everyone had such a different opinion on it.
Yeah, because like some people hated the word, some people loved the word. I mean, I personally enjoy the word, obviously when it's said in a positive way. You're just like, oh, my beautiful hoes. But then obviously if you've got someone saying like you're just a disgusting hoe, then it's nasty.
Yeah, it depends the way that it's said.
But I guess if you were doing it in text or say online in a YouTube comment, how would you take it? If someone was just like, you hoe,
We've
is that a good thing or a bad
said
thing?
to us on YouTube comments.
Interesting.
You
normally
in a negative way.
Yeah, you normally take it in a negative way if there's no sort of like happiness to it, because it has been derived from whore.
It was a really amazing event though, and we were really excited to be a part of it.
It's such a great experience, especially it was the first time we were talking in front of a crowd of people, so it was a really good learning curve for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. We really want to do way more events like this, and I think we will.
Yeah, definitely. So much fun.
I invited Florence and Reed because I have checked out their YouTube page and I saw that they were basically the type of sex positive people that I love, especially because they basically do what I do in terms of just being open and comfortable in talking about sexuality. I was ecstatic because I was just like, yeah, there are other women out there who do exactly what I do. So. I'm hoping that Laid Bare turns out to be something that I can continue, especially with women. I want it to be aimed at them and let them know that it is okay for us to talk about dating and relationships and get our feelings out there properly, as well as talking about sexuality comfortably. I think that's something that's very, very difficult for a lot of women. They don't want to open up in that aspect, whereas men are used to doing it. Like, they're allowed to talk about sexuality and sex, but women don't really do that, especially women from my background, like black women, it's not something they do at all.
She is planning to put on another.
Yeah, she is. So keep an eye on her website, which is simplyoloni.com.
Yes, and hopefully we'll be there at the next event. Maybe not on the panel, but even just like on the sidelines supporting. Woo! But I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe to us.
Like our video.
Comment below.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, hoes!
Bye!
So let me just zoom in on your bodies. One second. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's what I like.
That's kind of, you can post it looking at it.
I'm just embarrassing these poor men.